We started by rushing our way up to the surface to locate uh, St. Bobcat. And once we got up there, we wound up having a confrontation with Emerson. Um, Joan was quick to escalate, and we had ourselves a shootout in the center of town. We defeated Emerson uh, and put down the last of the zombie fellows that were accosting us.
I'd
And that's where
argue
we ended.
we did not escalate. We simply rode the same line. Like there was no de-escalation. You walked out, said, "Fill your hand, fucker. You're gonna die." There was no like, "Let's chat this out. Let's have a reasoned discussion about it."
Yeah, and
Joan cried havoc.
right, and to add on to Cody's point, I think the description of what happened after finding Franklin, that you had a discussion with Emerson. Um, if I remember correctly, the discussion essentially consisted of "get fucked." Um,
Well, he tried to
I
monologue
think
at
I
us
might have
for a
said
second.
encounter with, but
oh yeah,
either
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he tried to
He.
monologue at us, and Joan said, "Fuck
Mhm,
off."
mhm.
I made up my mind.
Yep.
I've already been swayed by one of you fuckers.
Right, right. Um, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I think the only two details I would add is that although in hindsight, I think it's safe to say that you handled Emerson rather handily. Um, there was a fair amount of hellfire being thrown around on his part, and one bit of it in particular really did a number on Friendly. Friendly was having
Oh,
a real
yeah.
rough time.
I'm still
Um,
actively on fire.
yeah. And then the only other thing that I would add is while this was going on, you're pretty focused on it, obviously, until um, Emerson was felled. But once he was, you did notice that Kristoff was basically using his super
Morbin.
speed and sort of mist form to basically run around and clean up as many of these other zombies as possible. And so that, Maggie, did I give you? Yes, you did get your additional penny. Excellent. And so with that, let's head back to the scene over here. Wipe some of these guys. Let's take these guys off. We don't need.
I'm not sure how to note a limitation that I am adding to a power, so I'm just putting it under the Effects tab.
Okay. And let's get Thomas out here.
Is your
Oh,
limitation a trapping or something else?
No, I'm reducing the range on a power to
Right.
touch.
Got it.
all right. Yeah, you find yourselves in the street of on Main Street of Duval's Bluff. Having taken out Emerson, Kristoff uh, has been cleaning up the remainder of the zombies, the Walking Dead, and you do notice that he's called some of the Nosferatu out from underground, and they've been doing the same. The street is yours. I think also, just in terms of setting, the store is actively on fire. The old bank building that was abandoned is actively on fire. The sheriff's office is has caught fire, but isn't really actively burning at this point.
And we are still allied with the vampires and have been
Uh,
killing the zombie.
That is correct.
Did is that zombie hurdy-gurdy still up in the attic of his place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't
Um,
gone to do anything
You
with them
don't
yet.
know. What you do know is that you can see on Emerson's remains that he has the horn with him now. Right.
Maybe
So
our
it's
zombie lady should pick up the horn that controls zombies. Also, question, Adam: are we supposed to be seeing a map or just the main
oh,
intro map,
sorry.
like the landing
I
page?
haven't pulled you over there. Thank you. Yeah, there you are.
I'm going to sit down heavily upon these steps,
Okay.
rubbing the half of my face that still has facial hair.
Oh God, Frendel, that's I forgot I did not actually get a chance to heal you.
Hey,
Yeah, Abigail will go running over and just not even words, just straight up an injection straight into the jugular.
how does
Yeah.
my look? Yeah, as it courses through,
too
Friendly like hops back to his feet. Huh. Oh, that
You're
was
good.
nice.
You're good. Your hat looks fine. Your hat
Yeah,
looks
did you
fine.
put
Everything's
caffeine in
fine?
there?
Oh no, it's the usual. Oh boy. Well, you
Did
may
it
have got the
regrow my
next
beard?
strong dose.
Did it regrow my beard?
I will give the beard a yank. Would seem so. Anyone
Okay.
else? Anyone else hurt? Friend, let me know if you find yourself with a hankering for insects.
What?
Everyone else is okay?
The worse for the wear.
I'm all right.
Yeah, fine.
Should we see about these burning buildings, or
Is the bottom of shoe supposed to be sticky?
depends? You put something sticky in it.
No, I think it melted a little.
There's melt. It was a lot of hellfire that happened. The burning buildings. I fucking hate this town, so really I don't give a damn.
Unless we need anything drastically, I suggest we make for our train car and carry on with our business.
Yeah, I don't see any good reason to stick around.
Hey,
God.
Duval.
Yeah. He starts walking up towards y'all. Looks like we've just about cleaned up here. You've ended Mr. Emerson, I see. What is next?
We need to be headed in whatever direction Avery Sutton was.
Well, as I've said, I haven't spoken with her in some at least 8 years at this point. I presume she had a spy in town. I can't imagine that she would knowingly let this single string go without her at least having some information about it, but whom that person was, or if they've survived this particular onslaught, I have no idea. I can send word to her, and presumably she or one of her representatives will come for it, but when, I don't know, and they will come loaded for bear, for she knows that it was my intention to keep it.
It's still a better lead than we'll have.
I think before we get out of town, I want to spend a little more time ransacking Emerson's place and see if I can learn anything more about where Donnie is. When we were fighting with that man, he told me he was going to go right that moment and put an end to him. So he knew more than he let on about where Donnie is.
And Donnie is your boy.
Yeah.
And he suffers from the same fate as Mr. Emerson.
According to Mr. Dealer and all the information I've been able to figure out so far, I say Mr. Dealer, Baron Samedi as well. He's returned from the hunting grounds. He's died and come back with something else on top of him.
Well, I am in your debt. And he touches the string that is now in his chest. So you all tell me how it is I can help and what assistance I can provide, and I will do what I can to further your efforts in that endeavor. For the time being, I am going to sit on the steps and sit on my steps and wait for the sun to come up, that I may witness it for the first time in longer than I can remember.
Let's grab that horn and see what other secrets he might have in his mansion.
Excellent. Who is taking the horn?
I would like to take a look at that or take it.
Okay, let me see where I've... No, I have it here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Let me put it in your inventory, Jim. Great. Who's going where?
I'll follow Joan.
I would be heading towards Emerson's place.
Okay. Anybody else heading that way?
Thomas will also go that way.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's heading down there. That include you, Franklin?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. As y'all head down to the southern end of town, just before you see bodies of these walking dead everywhere, and you see a handful of the Nosferatu walking up towards Duval's manor. A couple of them tip their hats to you as you walk by. As you get to the southern end of town, the dealer simultaneously walks out of the inn and walks out of the salon, walking both versions of him walking towards the center of the street, doing a slow sort of golf clap um, as he sort of comes to stand in front of you as you're, walking towards the southern end of town. And he begins, well, well, Master Cox and friends, you do not disappoint. And as he does, his two bodies merge together into a single entity. Um, says, I had been bored for quite some time here, and I had a hunch that you lot would make things much more exciting. And, well, you do not disappoint. Bravo.
This guy's a fucking weirdo.
Happy we could provide entertainment. If you will excuse us, we have a few places to be, as a matter of fact.
By all means. Nice hood, Bobcat.
Yeah, eat my ass.
He just stands, sort of pivots to the side to as if gesturing to let you all walk by.
I'm going, fuck this guy.
There's no need to be rude. We're in a hurry.
No, I mean to be 100% rude.
Yeah,
Well,
I
okay,
mean,
yes, you mean to be rude. I did not mean to be
Yeah,
rude. We were
he
just in a
did
hurry.
try to fucking kill one of us, so
Yes, yep. Fair point. Fair point. So, where was this thing you all found?
Yeah, you all are able to enter the Emerson Ranch without any difficulty. You've got sort of free reign of the place. I am making the assumption, Joan, that you are heading back up to his sort of study and the room where you saw the contraption that he had put together to try and.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The room where we found the picture, the room where that contraption was, and just searching for any more information. I'm tearing this place apart in a way that I wasn't before.
Gotcha. Well, let's cover what we already know, right, from the last time around, just to make sure we're not missing anything. You've got the picture, the photograph that is him, Donnie, and what the fuck did I call him? I think it was Schimmel Stankiewicz, which has since been identified as Stinky. The three of them, all posed all wearing their Confederate uniforms. So you've got the photograph. There's a map that was retrieved from his desk that has a skull and crossbones in Bent Pine, Wyoming, another skull and crossbones in Jerome, Idaho, and a star in just next to Huron, Dakota. Down the hall, of course, was the room where you saw the zombie who was impaled on a swiveling chair with both the box and the horn. At that point, the box sort of inserted into this thing's torso, and the horn replacing its larynx and the bell of the horn coming out of its mouth. The horn was clearly ripped out of its mouth, and Emerson had it on his person, which you now have. Otherwise, the remains of whatever this contraption was when it was functioning properly has been knocked over in this solarium down the hall from his office.
I think the first kind of thing that I'd be looking for is like a anywhere that I haven't gone where there might be a prisoner or any other like hidden spots where someone would be kept hidden away or anything.
Okay.
I'm trying to make darn sure that Donnie's not in this building for some reason.
Right. Make me a notice roll. Excellent. I think as you are ripping apart his office, looking for any clues, looking, at this point, you're probably looking for clues about where in the house there might be jail cells or some other, place that he might have people held. You come across some papers in his desk. At first, it looks like gibberish, and you can understand why. The first pass through, when you were really sort of pressed for time, you sort of brushed this aside. But now that you've got a little more time, you recognize that these scribblings are not very well organized, but they're clearly some strange plan he's got for revenge against Donnie and against Stankiewicz. For what? He still holds them responsible, right, for a caper that the three of them pulled that went south. It's not clear what that is. It's not like you found a diary, where he's talking about these things, but he's still pissed off at these two because they were involved in something, right? And he thinks that they conspired against him, and he believes that he has information that one of them is in Bent Pine, Wyoming, and the other is in Jerome, Idaho.
Where did we run into Stinky? That was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give me those location names one more time?
Yeah, I'll type them into.
Was Stinky when we were looking for the escaped experiment?
Yeah, Jack Amberton way back at the beginning.
Yeah, that
Yeah, we
farm,
ran into
house.
Stinky on the road and thought Stinky would have information for us, and Stinky did not really have information for us.
We had a lot of things though.
I hate Stinky.
Bite your tongue.
I'm pretty sure you bought him booze before we left, which
I
is
sure did.
a real heartwarming button on on the story of that man.
I mean, I can tell you, to prevent you from having to dig through all your notes, you ran into Stinky in Bent Pine, Wyoming.
Okay, that's what. Okay.
And then, so Joan, those are the two locations where he believes, right? One or both of them. He had his information leads him to believe they're either both in one of these locations or one's in each of these locations. Who knows how accurate his info is, but this is what he believes. The third location on the map is Huron. That's the third location that's on the map.
Is there any information about why Huron stands out?
If Joan and Thomas could make me a notice roll, that will help me answer that question.
Sure. I've been known to notice. Not today.
Yeah, Joan, you're locked in. You've got the full Zach Galifianakis hangover overlay of all those mathematic symbols going on because you're looking for your boy. Huron, Dakota, it sticks in the back of your head, as you're looking through everything, because you've seen it before, and you've seen it before recently, right? And you put it to the side for a second as you're reading through these notes and, put together enough that, he believes your son is either in Bent Pine or Jerome, right? And then once you've sort of ingested that and can start thinking more broadly, you realize, oh, I know where I've seen Huron, Dakota before. It's on the side of the widow's solace box.
How do you mean?
I mean, you remember at the bottom corner on one of the sides of the widow's solace box, painted
like
on
a
there.
Made in Huron, Dakota stamp?
Yeah, made by the boxer, Huron, Dakota.
Was made by, say, the boxer?
The boxer, Huron, Dakota.
Looks like it's time for us to get in the ring.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I think that's that for this place. So, want to start making our way towards the train car?
Sure. But then where? Try to regroup or see about what's in Huron?
I mean, I think I need to take a look at a map. We're far and away from home base for me. I don't know where Wyoming is compared to Idaho or what state we're in.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be good for answering that either.
Could everybody make me a notice roll as you're talking about Huron, Dakota?
Okay.
Yep, that's about right.
It's been a rough day, friendly.
Yeah, I've spent the last 3 minutes
Wait,
trying and
Howard, you're
failing.
still at -3 wounds. I healed 2 wounds from you.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I mean, not that
Oh,
that
I
helps
just,
you
I
pass
yeah, I
anything,
just
but
it
like,
doesn't make me pass, but I got it. I got it now. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. At this discussion of uh, Huron, Dakota, I think Abigail, Cornelius, Joan. You know, you're just talking about where, like, Thomas has asked where y'all are going. Once you get to the train, Joan points out, I don't know where these places are. You're talking about where they might be, right? I think the three of you were like, hey, you know, not for nothing. Who's got that box we used to talk to Saint Nick?
it's insane.
That would
Anybody?
be in the inn in the tavern here, because that's where we've been sleeping.
Yeah. So one of the three of you, or all three, or any combination of the three of you, I think would go say, hey, anybody? I think I might have seen that name on that box from Saint Nick.
Here we go check the box. I heft it up. Thomas is usually the
Yeah,
one
sure
that
enough, made
ends up
by the
lugging it.
boxer, Huron, Dakota.
So we could give a call to Saint Nick and see if he can, I don't know, put us in contact with this boxer, and we can ask this boxer about the widow's whale box. Well, I don't know where that would get us in the long run. Who knows? Maybe this boxer would have other contraptions. We've
Well,
been to Bent Pines. I don't know how out of the way Jerome, Idaho would be, or if there are any other leads towards Avery Sutton's specific location.
Well, the trail for Avery Sutton is 8 years cold, so I don't think we got much way in the lead department there. But here we have something. Whether it takes us to Donnie directly, I don't know, but it's a step on the path, and at least there is a path.
It's away from here, if nothing else.
Maybe he knows something about these strings as well.
Maybe already looking for one. The other Gorsa action is that place Friendle's been I don't recall precisely, but I'm gonna say asked to visit, which is not in the direction of Donnie, it's just a direction to go potentially.
Okay, and what is that place?
Oh, trying to find it in my. think we got the name in a previous chapter, and I've got a.
Are you talking about the place the Quakers were talking about?
Yeah.
They didn't give a specific like town or city name, right?
Okay.
What they did say was that this other conduit, right, that one of their flock had some interaction with, had been really upset, really frustrated, and last he heard, made his way up into the Dakota Territory somewhere.
Okay, that's where I was feeling there was some overlap. I mean, Dakota's still a big state, but
It sounds like we're headed north and we're headed west, and we can head north and then head west and see what we can find.
I mean, why are we gonna go looking for him specifically? I guess.
Looking for who? The fella that y'all was just talking about?
Yeah, the other con- conduit.
it seemed like folks were worried about him and what he does, and it just seemed like an interesting thing to at least learn about.
Oh, I mean, if we're gonna be like around the area, then I bet we'll run into him.
Yeah, something tells me you're likely to attract each other.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm meant to to talk with him or redeem him or whatever it is that's got to happen, I figure it'll play out that way. We'll do
I
our
think
other
this is
stuff
the
and we'll intersect.
well, this is the sort of thing I mean. We got this other lead that's taking us to Dakota,
So we go
and
do
just
that, focus on that, and then when other stuff develops.
So we set out towards Huron, Dakota, and if this other fella and your meeting is ordained, then we'll see them there.
Sounds
pretty
about the
much.
right of it. All right, let's get this train moving.
Let's go and boogie. I don't know.
Excellent.
That was a lot more. She's a lot more serious right now.
So y'all done in Emerson's house?
I believe
Is that
so. I think
okay?
we're done in this town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. As you all are leaving Emerson's ranch, Christoph is waiting out front. And he says, "Did you find what you were looking for?"
I mean, more or less. There's a couple of leads and a direction ahead. Most we can ask for.
I'm glad to hear it. Might I be of any assistance?
I mean, unless you can make us a whole hell of a lot faster and don't ask for anything in return.
Oh no, I've gotten all I expect to get. As I said, I am at your service. The town obviously will need significant work and need to be rebuilt, but I am happy to help you in any way that I can to repay you. But if this shall be the end of our association, I will wish you the best.
maybe we just leave it with you owe us one.
I'm comfortable with that. Before you go, Abigail, might I have a word with you privately?
Of course.
He just starts walking down the street just to create a little distance. And he turns to you and he says, I apologize. There's no polite way to say this, but you're sick, correct?
I don't know what you mean.
As someone who requires blood to live, I can say that I smell it. Well, let's just say that if I am correct, I may be able to help you.
Abigail just looks at him but doesn't really say anything, just blank expression.
It is not an ideal life by any stretch of the imagination, but with one of these, and he puts his hand over the string that is now in his chest, you can live virtually indefinitely.
I appreciate the information. I have no interest in living indefinitely, simply my due time.
Mm.
And if I were sick, and if there was something to be cured, well, that is a thing I can do for myself. That is a thing I will do for myself in that case. I have no intentions of, well, stitching myself to some supernatural thing, giving some lost mystical whatever any sort of power over myself. I've made it thus far.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't explain myself well enough. The string would come after. But a bite from me and the issue with your blood would be cleared up permanently. The sun will be a problem until you find one of these.
I mean this in the absolute least polite way possible. If your teeth come anywhere near me, you will not get to see that sunrise.
Oh, fair enough.
Thank you for your offer, though. And Abigail will turn and leave.
Yeah, excellent. You are free to go. You see there are more and more Nosferatu that are at this point streaming out of Duval's Manor as you walk up north and past that to get back to where you've left the train. It appears as if Duval sort of walks up with you guys, not really saying anything, but you're just walking in the same direction. And he goes to sit on the stairs of his manor. It looks a whole heck of a lot like he's calling all these things out here to witness the sunrise with him, to fulfill the other promise he made that he was going to get rid of all of these things once he obtained the string. But yeah, you guys are free to make it back to the train. You
Or we
are
could stick around for the fireworks.
you could stick around for the fireworks if you wanted to see that. But yeah, you're able to make it back to the train. You're able to you quite easily hook up the linkage on the drivetrain that Abigail had disabled, and you are free to take off. I'm going to move you back to the landing page so that you've got a map to look at. You guys are in the Bluff, Arkansas, which is approximately here. Can you all
Oh,
see where I'm
boy.
pinging? Yeah.
Y'all, we're on the wrong side of the map.
And that's what I was kind of fearing whenever I was seeing Idaho and Montana, and we were in we were last on the Mississippi, last I remember.
Yeah. So what's up, team?
Somewhere in there is... Oh, that's in. That's over there. Okay, no, we're okay.
Now, I mean, I'm sorry. Go for it, Sean.
It looks like that as long as we can provide fuel, that it looks like there are tracks that will take us a very, very far distance. Get us closer to where we want to get by all means.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to
We
plan
can
our
set
route
out
around.
towards like Dodge City to Denver, and then figure it out from there.
Yeah, we have to try to hit major cities where we can get the fuel. I think in setting, some weird shit is happening in Denver during this time.
All the more reason to go to Denver. If we don't take that long railroad just straight towards Dodge City, I mean, the other option is to try to head north to like Kansas City and go a little more roundabout. But I mean, I think that we ought to be able to just go. Famous last words.
Yeah, and our goal is to try to get up to the Dakotas.
I mean, barring any other goals, I don't know where else we would. Do we have any other destinations or possible places to investigate?
Nothing that's closer east.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the idea of like, Stinky's involved in this in some way, so we backtrack to where we last saw him, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna be there. And we also don't like he's just a wandering vagrant, so I mean, where would we find him there anyway? I think what we have now, right, is going into the Dakotas. There's two potential things that intersect there, so I think I don't think we have anything else really outstanding unless it's something someone's creating. Adam, is the rail lines here the only lines in existence? Because otherwise, to get to Dakota is like Denver, and then going all the way
remembering right?
east to Chicago to come all the way back up,
Yeah,
on
this
the
thing-
northern lines.
Doesn't our train car not need tracks actually? Suddenly, I'm remembering.
Mhm.
That is correct. Right. On both counts. One, the train lines that are here are the train lines that exist, right?
Okay.
But, well, not but, it also, right? A thing that is special about this train car that Duval has given you is that it does not require train tracks. It moves faster on train tracks, but it does not require train tracks. So, for example, you let's just say you were trying to get to Deadwood, Dakota, right? You could take your car, get on the train tracks, go from here down to Little Rock, right? And then up to Denver, and then essentially drive your train north, almost due north to Deadwood, right? You could also try and drive your train from here to, say, Milwaukee, right? And then take the tracks all the way around to Deadwood. Or if you wanted, you could draw a straight line from where you are to Deadwood and just drive your train car all the way there. As I believe Cody had noted, it would require making stops in some relatively major cities because you do need Ghost Rock to keep this thing running.
I think Little Rock, Dodge City, Denver, Cheyenne, Wilderness up to Deadwood is as good a path as any.
Yeah, I agree.
Fantastic. Yeah, you all pile on. It's probably at this point midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Are you heading out right now, or are you calling it a night on the train, and taking off at first light?
I think bunking down in the train, and then leaving at first light is a good idea.
Yeah, make sure we get all our stuff.
All right. Y'all want to split the money now? Yeah.
We could split it to see it in nice piles, but I don't think any of us is carrying it.
There's still a small safe on this train.
It was put it in the safe then.
What
Excellent.
is everybody's cut, Franklin, since we're talking about it?
Everybody's cut is $833.
That ain't half bad.
Oh, nobody?
Let's
All right.
see.
Put the money. I'm gonna put the money away.
I mean, I think I'll take like 100, and then the rest of it you can use to buy Ghost Rock and bullets and whatnot. It's good to have some pocket money for giving to people.
What do
Yeah,
you what do you think
I'm
the
gonna take
largest bill they make is now?
Huh? Probably like a $100 bill. Oh shit! I can grab the
I bet
dice.
like $500 bill.
$500.
Yeah, or maybe you know what? $200 bill seems reasonable. A lot of things
$500
divided by two.
bills. Crazy.
I bet like $1,000 bill is just gold.
$1,000. Who would even need such a thing?
Yeah,
I
we usually
mean-
just kept it in gold once we had that much.
Me and Abby knew some people who would have $1,000 bills. They
Or
just put
banking
them on
notes.
their Oh, right.
Bonds.
Yeah, they already made $1,000, but it is just banking notes where you can write whatever you want on it. And then it kind of becomes a bill that rich people use.
I'm taking me $330, $33, so I can just have a flat 500 in the bank.
What are you gonna do now that you're rich?
Stay rich, probably get more money.
Hmm. Well, it sounds like we need to hit a casino then.
Uh,
That sounds like the worst way to make money.
Works for some of us.
To stay away from narcotics, it's a bit of a money sink.
that's more of a Abigail thing.
Wait, you've been into narcotics, like selling it and stuff?
I've never sold narcotics. No, that's absurd.
You ever use narcotics?
Wow, look
Everyone
at the
here has
time.
used narcotics.
I haven't used narcotics.
Has
I took my first drink with you guys. I don't think I skipped that step.
Hold on, Abby, does what you do count as narcotic?
Sometimes.
Okay,
Not
maybe
really,
I've
though.
done
It's not pharmaceuticals or anything like that. Most of my
Right.
most of my injections are distilled versions of inappropriate animals genetic
Sure.
sequencing, like
Yeah.
using an anole to allow you to heal.
so animal narcotics instead of plant narcotics, like the rest of us.
Well, I mean, they're not narcotics. They don't act on that. They don't act on the same part of the brain. But I mean,
Do regular
I'm not
narcotics
judging.
make
I've
your
certainly used recreational pharmaceuticals. I mean, I won't say I've used my own stash because I don't actually carry any. But
do regular narcotics make your fingernails itch?
can't say that they have.
Yeah, your stuff makes my fingernails itch. Only the
Regular
toenails, some
narcotics
of the
can make
toenails.
your fingernails itch.
How much narcotics have everybody been doing?
There's not an everybody
was a nerd.
situation here.
If you ever had your tooth pulled or anything at the barber, you've had narcotics.
That's
Well,
If you've ever had
there's-
a cold and gone to a doctor with his. Never mind. We don't need to get into that.
was
you
about to say,
guys
you're
know
about
y'all
to wade
talking
into
about
medical.
recreational.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
guys
I
talk
don't
about
trust doctors.
you don't trust doctors.
No. Why would I trust doctors? I know all the sorts of things that doctors get up to. Wow, lead balloon that joke. Filing
Yeah, I
that
mean-
one under failure. Okay.
It landed for me, but I have the context and also like I was explicitly involved in the swindling arm of our family's medical operation.
Okay,
so
Frendel, that started off as a very, very
yeah,
uncomfortable sentence. So
yep.
Family of swindlers.
Nope, family weren't swindlers, but I was. I guess some doctors are swindlers.
only the fake ones. Like that
Sure.
Okay,
gentleman we ran into with his potions and elixirs, none of which did anything.
so We got a doctor that hates doctors, and you do narcotics.
I don't actually hate doctors. That was just a joke,
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know.
because I know what doctors get up to. I'm a doctor. I get up to things. Still doesn't work.
Just not,
Okay.
not my type of joke.
Right.
Not my type.
You know what always makes the joke better? Explaining
Explaining
the joke.
it.
Yeah, always. 100 times. 100% of the time. Excellent. Anybody have anything they'd like to get up to before y'all call it a night?
I feel like it would have been discovered in a previous session, but I do go talk to Franklin and say,
Hey, so you were just like lost in that cavern or what?
Okay, so by the time I got down, it was the bottom of the cavern. It just one way this way, the other way go that way. So I start going down, and I see some of the snakes. Me, I'm real stealth. Like I'm real quiet with it, and I'm not gonna lie, I fucked it up a little. And by the time I looked up, because I think I low key like tripped my ankle on a rock. The snake saw me, I saw them. But you know me, I'm the Bobcat when I got the mask on, so maybe they were intimidated by my aura.
Yeah.
So they let me go. So I just kept on walking. And I kept on walking, then it started going down in a hill, just a little slippery slope. Keep on going. I see something in the distance, and it's a cactus. Goddamn
Cactus.
cactus in a ravine. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no damn sense.
In the cave?
Right? That's what I said. But I've been hanging around you magical folk, all the time now. I'm just kind of used to saying whatever, it makes sense, I guess. You understand?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot that happens that I just can't. If you think about it too long, it's bad.
You just gotta accept it. So,
Yeah.
I accepted it, and I get by it, and something tells me, something in my soul says, don't go. But something in my head says, don't be scared, Franklin. And I was like, wait, nah, I can't be scared. I'm not no bitch.
You're the Bobcat.
You goddamn right, I'm a goddamn Bobcat. So Bobcat keeps on going. Guess who the hell it is?
The
The
cactus?
goddamn dealer was the cactus.
No.
It was goddamn crazy. He just like, I stop again because like my soul, my spirit was really telling me not to go. But he was just like, come on ahead now. I'm thinking he gonna try to help me, be on his good side or some shit. The son of a bitch walked me into a goddamn desert. Nothing in that motherfucker, just a desert.
Well, you took the cave to a cactus and then you was in a desert?
Yup.
A horse with no name.
A horse with no name.
Lost in the desert on a horse with no name. Never mind.
You had a horse?
I didn't have no damn horse. I don't know why. I don't know why she said that. But
Okay, so you
I
saw
can't.
the dealer, you're in a desert.
I'm in the desert and I'm walking. I'm walking forever. I'm just keep on walking. Then I pass out. I pass out. I'm tired. I've been walking for hours. It felt like. Then I wake up. I'm thinking I'm dead. I'm thinking I'm fully in the hunting grounds now. I'm thinking I'm going to see some real wild some bitches. I hear the groans of the zombies. Bow. I get up, kill one. Boom, boom. And I just go. I just keep going until I get to the house. I didn't know who house it was, but I was finna make a name for myself.
Okay.
Kick the door in. Boom. Nobody there. I don't hear nothing. Someone got to be here. So I keep on moving. One zombie tried to get me. Boom. Shoot the zombie in the head. Another zombie tried to get me. Bow. Another one. And I keep on moving. I'm getting ready for a big fight. I'm thinking there's some old thing going around. I hear commotion. Then I come around the corner. You motherfuckers come out of invisibility. I, I ain't gonna lie, I almost shot y'all.
Huh. So you,
Yeah.
because I was fixing to come after you, you know.
Oh boy. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it could have been all right if the dealer wasn't there. It was the dealer that did it, so it's not like.
Well, I don't think we should trust him very much, you know.
Oh yeah, no, fuck him.
Man, because, well, hey, I'm glad you're here.
Oh man, I'm glad you here.
I suppose at the end of all this, things didn't go the way I wish they went.
What you wish to happen?
That we had the string and Mr. Vampire did see that sunset or that sunrise, but it was the last.
Uh, well, let's think about it like this, right? If we did take the string, you have to be a ruthless motherfucker like me, right? Like I don't give a damn. Whatever gave us the most, I was down with doing it. Hell, I barely wanted to come get you when he took you for the string, but you are a big asset. There was never going to be a way that we were going to do that. You seen how strong those damn vampires was.
Yeah.
It was a far shot. It was a far shot indeed. That we would have needed to tough it out and make some big decisions. Not any decisions none of us would have liked.
I just don't like being beholden to a creature like that, you know? He says it's fine, that he's doing good or whatever, but it's a dang vampire, you know?
I know. I don't like the motherfucker. I ain't like neither of them. Neither of them. Not nan one. That's why I was all for just taking the string from him. I would have been okay doing that.
Hmm.
If next time we go against something that is difficult for you uh, to dispose of, like that boy Tanner. Uh, don't imagine them as a person no more. Imagine them as a hurdle.
As a what?
A hurdle.
A hurdle.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's either you get over this or you lose. And I don't care for losing all that much.
I'll have to think on that one, Franklin, but all in all, I suppose things have gone as good as they could have.
This is the best we got.
All right, now, would you mind if I just look at that money again? I just want to count my share, you know?
Go on ahead, count it. Now I know how much I got in there. It's supposed to be 500 in there. That's mine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As everyone settles down for the evening, you can hear the slight murmur of Thomas's voice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And presumably, when you wake up in the morning, at whatever time you wake up, you rejoin the countdown somewhere. 137, 138, 421, 422.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
All right.
Also in the morning, you hear, in addition to some birds chirping and those of you early risers stirring in the train car, you hear a faint scratching at the side of the train car.
Vampires.
I'll grab my 2 guns.
We slide open the door of the train.
Meow. Little tabby cat scratching at the side of the train door.
I grab it and lift it up in the air.
Yeah, it hisses at you, but not like more like it's scared.
I try to gently bring it in, comforted as I bring it into the train car.
Yep. It sort of settles down. Um, as it is in the car itself, it sort of twists around in your arms until it is able to jump free and is immediately like walking around the car trying to figure out which spot is going to be its. Clearly
Yeah.
acting as if you all have stumbled into its train car.
Hell yeah. I ask if anybody has any milk.
Like on our
Mm.
person?
I don't.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
probably hungry.
I don't. They don't eat milk.
Well, sure they do. I'd fed plenty of strays milk.
I mean, they'll that, but they subsist on like other stuff, like meat.
Oh yeah. Do y'all have any meat?
I can't.
Uh,
I can't.
I'll dig out some beef jerky.
So we got a cat.
We got a guest.
Yeah, it attacks that beef jerky. Doesn't have a problem shredding it. Obviously, between claws and teeth, it can rip through it pretty good. But it is pretty dry, so it's just like smacking its mouth a little bit as it works its way through it.
Well,
Oh,
do we keep it here or let it out when it was just outside?
It was just outside.
I mean, it's a cat. We can keep a cat.
I figure we ain't got any reason to get rid of it, but we also ain't got any reason to trap it here either, so it'll stay as long as it stays.
I mean, we don't have any. This is just a simple consideration, but currently we don't have anywhere for it to poop, which means it's going to just shit in the train car where we're sleeping.
All right,
Can you
I'll
what?
clean up after it, and if it decides to leave at the next stop, that's fine. But we could use a mouser.
Abby, can you make like a cat shit bomb?
Just so I'm
Pardon?
clear,
What?
just so I'm clear, was that balm with BALM or bomb
was-
BOMB?
BOMB.
Okay, thank you.
Oh. I think we should keep
I
a
mean, if
cat.
that's a no,
Make
that's
it
fine. Like,
make it from feces? Like, what are you
I mean,
asking me from?
I don't know. Like, use it in some way.
Yeah, Doc, you're the scientist.
The warrior cats
I mean,
now
I guess
have a
you'd get a
master.
lot
The
of
cat
its.
was never seen again.
You would get a lot of its hair if you need to like make a cat injection.
A cat poop injection.
Well,
What we
no,
naming the
that's
cat?
just a cat hair injection, like, because their stuff is filled with all kinds of other things.
Should we
So it's
name the
just-
cat Bob?
Oh,
Pretty good.
might have to be named Bob. The warrior cats is coming up. We coming up in the world now.
That's true. Hey, is that our name? Well, did we decide on a
We
name or
we
anything
didn't
yet?
decide. We didn't.
We
Okay.
decided the warrior cats
Yeah,
would.
no, there's still some contention.
I mean, maybe this is a sign.
It's literally a sign. Like it's quite literally a sign.
You think that this cat is a warrior cat?
Of course it is. It showed
I
no
mean, look-
fear.
I mean, look at it.
Cats, like, their whole thing is that, like, fear to them is just hissing at you, clawing at you, and running away.
Attacking, defending itself. It seems like.
Ain't no
I feel
scaredy
like
cat.
that's. I feel like we are some defenders. We defend each other. I think we could be the warrior cats.
I mean, wouldn't that make us like guardian cats?
No, we're warrior cats though.
I mean,
All right, I'm going to get us moving. Where are we going again? In
Dakota?
the immediate. We're heading
I've been
to
meaning to ask, how the
Little
fuck you
Rock
steer this
first.
thing?
to Little Rock first. All right. This series of levers and wheels and
Great.
You
until
should really install a wheel.
right until you
multiple.
make it to the train tracks, I need to know who's driving.
Only Abigail can. We did a check about that at one point.
I think only Abigail could know how the mechanics work.
I
Right.
was gonna say I can teach everybody to drive just in case.
I would love
Just
to
in
learn
case.
how to drive.
Well,
I can teach everybody but Frendel to drive.
right. Also,
Good.
right. I want to be clear. Right. If I remember correctly, the trek, it wasn't about driving. It was about how the train works. Those are two different things.
So we need to do a check about who can drive it best.
Anybody can drive it. Anybody's got the driving skill.
Oh, is this just
Yeah.
done via driving skill? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that. I got riding, you know?
Yeah. This is definitely not riding. I'd let you get away with that with the mechanical cart, but this is definitely not riding.
I got intimidation.
You are not going to be able to
Yeah.
scare this train to go in the direction that you want it to go.
But Adam, I have a +4.
I understand. It's probably worse when you put that hood on, Bobcat.
Fuck.
Well, driving is agility based, so who has good agilities?
Oh my
I
god.
mean, I don't think that matters, right?
It does not matter.
Right, it doesn't matter at all, right?
I got good
Look,
agility.
let's all
even though
just
it
sound
doesn't
off a
matter.
roll. We all just take turns
Right.
seeing who's got
Now-
a natural hand
okay.
at it.
Now, like, here's the good news here, right? Is that obviously this is a learnable skill, right? And so, you know, it doesn't have to remain this way forever. The other good news is that once you're on the train tracks, you don't need a driving skill to operate this thing on the train tracks. You're on tracks,
Until we
Right,
need
but-
to avoid a train.
right? Well, there's no avoiding a train. Like if you're on the train tracks and the train's coming, it's that like you can't steer off of the tracks. You know, you've seen this thing remove itself from tracks. It's not that agile. It takes 20 minutes, a half hour.
Oh boy. I'll drive this motherfucker. Oh boy, I love to drive.
All
Yeah, I
right.
feel. I also want to
Let's-
try at some point.
Yeah. Franklin, let's see that unskilled roll for your drive to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
Why do you currently have a -2 to it?
Because it's an unskilled attempt.
Oh, got it.
None of us have drive.
Okay.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
There
pretty
you go.
good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What
Keep bored
is
to drive a train?
I'm curious, what is your approach? Is it
He's intimidating it.
right? Are
He's just
you
yelling at it.
right? Are you like keeping an eye out, looking for you know, potential obstacles or, you know, the clearest path that you can take, or is this just pedal to the metal, or some combination of the two? What's the plan here, Franklin?
I'm definitely. You know what? It's like when you're first learning how to drive.
Mm-hmm.
I was real slow with it. And then once I get the little hang of it, now I'm the best driver in the fucking world, and I'm pushing it straight to the.
Gotcha. So the beginning of this journey, it's slow and cautious, and there's a lot of you checking both windows, sticking your head out of both windows, moving back and forth, and then by the time you know, we'll say you take off at maybe 9 o'clock in the morning, by 10:30, 11, like you feel like this is pretty easy, and you are just cooking. And by the time you approach Little Rock, um, probably a little reckless and a little late on the brakes, but no harm, no foul. You um, are able to find the tracks heading into Little Rock, and you follow those to the train station. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you are at the train station in Little Rock. What's the plan from here? Are we just hopping on the tracks, or anything anybody needs to do in Little Rock?
Anything?
Just
Anybody?
make sure we're good on fuel.
Make sure we're good on drugs.
Are you guys doing drugs on here? Everybody keeps talking about drugs and narcotics.
I mostly run on opium, as far as I know.
That's not even remotely true.
He
All
did
right.
say as far as
Yeah.
he knew.
All right. Well, if that's not even remotely true, what's happened to all that opium I've been stuffing in this hole? Opens his chest cavity, just poppies falling out everywhere.
Oh hell yeah!
You don't have that
Uh.
hindrance no more. Or maybe you do at the sight of all of that.
To be fair, it only got reduced. It did not get removed.
Oh, true.
It was a major.
True.
Now it's a minor hindrance.
I still got all majors.
I only do a little drugs.
I think we should make sure we're stocked up on food, fuel, and amphetamines.
Oh, actually, I am out of a few things that I would like to pick up. I mean, we all have all of that money that we got where we were, so now's a good time to refill my Samson elixirs.
Ammo, if you need it.
Oh, I can look at some guns.
I could get some tools to keep on this train as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just to make this simple, you've got the cash, so any equipment that would readily be available, it's in the gears and goods section. Any common gear, general equipment, guns, gun
But
accessories.
not infernal elixirs, huh?
For those, Little Rock might be a little small, right? Let's how do I want to deal with this? You know what? Let's just make it a 50-50 shot if you can find what you're looking for. So any die you want to roll, evens you'll find it, odds you won't.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Hey, I don't want to. I do want to buy a camera, but I don't want to buy a camera. Can I pay someone to come take a group photo of us in front of our cool train?
Yeah, sure. Let me figure out.
How much of that 5,000 did we get, Franklin? Did we each get?
$833.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a little so is everybody just heading into Little Rock to do various shit? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Just
Well,
getting those
let's.
elixirs and heading back to the train.
Okay. That makes that easy. Thank you, Abigail. You are purchasing your elixirs, heading back to the train. Cornelius, what about you?
I think that I'm headed out to like get cleaned up and resupply on like some foodstuffs, but
Okay.
that would be it.
Yeah. What in the gears and goods section, whatever foodstuffs you're buying, just deduct them, and we're good. Franklin.
Oh, yeah, food, and I'm gonna look at some guns.
Okay. Yeah, you find a well-stocked weapon shop that has again doesn't have any infernal devices, but in terms of standard guns, pistols, rifles, um, the selections there, so you can purchase what you like, both in terms of weapons and ammunition. Anything else?
Let's see. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Friendly.
Yeah, getting back is gonna I'm just dragging like a sack full of stuff. But the stuff I'm buying, I mean, I need to get a new outfit for myself because my shit's all burnt to hell.
Hmm.
It's just gonna be a replacement though, so nothing
Okay.
fancy. I'll deduct the money.
Cool.
I'm also gonna get more rope, a set of lockpicks,
Ooh.
a like a wood or an axe for wood, uh, an iron skillet, and playing cards because we need to fucking teach Franklin to play cards,
Okay.
and a shovel. Because now that we've got like a place to put tools, Friendly's like, okay, time to load up on all these, miscellaneous things you could just leave in the train.
Excellent.
Like we've been doing without a lot of stuff, like digging a fire hole every night. It sure would be good if one of us had a shovel instead of
Doesn't
making Thomas do it with his hands.
doesn't Thomas
Well,
have a shovel?
Does he
I
have a shovel?
Yes.
Yeah, he has a shovel.
the question is where our cart is.
Yeah, you did not bring the cart with you, so the cart is with the Wild West Review.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jennifer, my shovel, is there.
Yeah. This is a new shovel for you.
Jennifer, I missed you so much.
But yeah, just buying some stuff and then heading back, but not buying anything particularly special.
Cool.
Other
General.
than maybe a new Stetson.
I want to make sure that we get the ghost rock we need. So I'm looking at the refined ghost rock in
Mhm.
the book, and it says 150. Is that something we're able to get here? And do we know about how much it takes to get how far?
I would say at this point, you don't know how much it takes to get how far. This hasn't really come with instructions. Abigail might be able to deduce it, right? But based on the amount that has burned since Franklin's been driving the train, you deduce that you can probably go somewhere between 5 to 7 days of driving off tracks with a standard cylinder of Ghost Rock.
Yeah, and when you say cylinder, that's refined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does anyone else want to pitch in towards the Ghost Rock Fund?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll
Honestly,
pitch in.
I think we should probably take a share of the take a share of the earnings to account for that. That's something that we're all using.
Yeah, do we want to give like 100 each towards the Ghost Rock, which covers, our travel fees?
Friendly fully offered up front to just be like, forego most of the money for the Bullet and Ghost Rock fund. Like he's gonna walk away with up, I'll say like 200, and then 600 can just go into the group bank. Friendly doesn't buy stuff really, other than right now. So Friendly doesn't care about money. He's not gonna hang on to it, and he'll just leave it in the vault if nobody will let him give it away.
600
So
gold will get us 4 refined Ghost Rock.
Yeah, I'm fine with being the thing that gets us up front, and then everybody can chip in after that.
Sounds good.
I'll take
Excellent.
my modest takings.
And Joan, before we finish up with you and get to Thomas, let's take our break right here, and we will resume at 10:45,
Okay.
and I will be right back. particularly right where we left off before my cats puked all over the place. Yeah,
I know
awesome.
that feel. I'm doing the Leonardo DiCaprio like pointing
Yeah,
meme.
yeah. Well, and in
So
my
that's
head,
why there's suddenly a cat in our train.
well, in my head, it's literally like, oh, from my cat's perspective, it's like, oh, you're talking about some other mythical cat not paying attention to us. We can solve that problem. Blah.
You're thinking about other cats.
Right. Joan, is there anything else that you would like to pick up besides the ghost rock, or anything else you're doing in town besides picking up ghost rock?
I think I will spend $100 making sure I've got a good supply of my drug of choice, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Laudanum, yeah.
yeah. Why don't you I mean, you can't exactly. It's not like there's just advertised. Why don't you just make me a notice roll? See if you.
Certainly.
Yeah, you find a doctor with the telltale signs that seem like this particular physician is shady enough that it might be you'll be able to get your hands on. So make me a persuasion roll. And the way it'll work is for a success,
Oh, that's for
a
sure.
success will get you the $100 worth that you're looking for. Okay, great. Yeah, you get the $100 worth that you're looking for.
That is so much drugs.
Yeah, you're going to be stocked up for quite some time.
Mhm.
I want to
Yeah,
know how.
I'm fine with that. I'm not
I
gonna push it.
just as an RP thing, I want to know how you carry that back in and where you put it. Like, what's the protocol for your drug haul? Do you like hide it under the dress?
Right, just to be clear, at $100, like at least leaving the doctor's office, he straight up gives you a doctor's bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, fresh doctor's bag, fantastic. I
doctor's
mean,
bag.
I carry a large bag at all times, so that's got my voodoo implement.
Fair. I guess none of us are looking in there, so just
Excellent. Thomas, what are you doing?
I'm also buying some supplies
Mhm.
To put on the train, replacing my pick, hammer, drill, getting pistol ammo. I'm gonna buy 2 bolas,
Okay.
which I can throw to entangle something or someone.
Excellent.
Don't know if that'll come up, but sounds cool. Probably, I mean, maybe a stick of dynamite.
Okay.
Just for the
yeah, just a flirty little stick of dynamite.
just a
Just
little
if you're feeling a
cheeky-
little naughty.
Yeah, just a cheeky little stick of dynamite. See, the thing is, you need to get 7+ sticks to really hit the
Sure,
limit
yeah.
here. We're so
Where are you at
close.
on your punch card for dynamite?
We got six total.
When will we get our free one?
loyalty.
Yeah, we really need. I mean, 8 is really what we want to get, because that gives us the +2 to damage and radius. So I'm gonna buy 2 more sticks of dynamite.
Okay. Go for it.
After that, I don't think I really have anything else. Oh, well, I suppose since we're in a town, I would see if there's any tattlers here.
Sure. Okay. A couple things. You as you are asking around, they actually say, oh yeah, if we have them, we get them fairly regularly, but if we have them, they're going to be at the post office. As you are headed towards the post office, walking through sort of the main downtown area of Little Rock, your the vision goes out in your right eye completely, and does so for about, I don't know, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then comes back. Um, as you continue to the post office, they turns out they've got a half a stack of what appears to be the most recent uh, Tombstone Tattler that they're selling for a nickel a piece.
Hell yeah. I take one.
All right, here are the headlines from this most recent Tattler.
As we cut to us back at the train, a picture having been taken as I'm reading out loud the headlines of this Tatler.
Wendigo strikes again. Frontier settlement feast on itself.
This one though, right here, I kind of lay it on a surface nearby and tap on it. River Behemoth. That sounds mighty familiar.
Yeah, as
Who
you
are you
lay it on the
calling
table
intrepid?
and point it out to everybody,
Trevor travel does.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's it say?
It's corpses.
That's us.
I'm reading it out loud for Frando.
It was towering mass of stitched corpses near the confluence of Canadian and Samaran rivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a Cimarron.
Feminine.
Countless rounds of ammunition, metal fists, graceful kind. What's it? Well, I feel accomplished. I was in the news for something good. So
See, folks think the Tatler ain't, you know, believable, right? But look, that's us, and we've seen that the things they write about are true.
Are you trying to sell us on the Tatler?
I don't believe I need to sell you on it. The proof's right in front of you.
the true purpose of the campaign has finally been revealed. Thomas is a paper boy for the Tatler, and he's out to get as many subscriptions as possible. And he'd like to know how many you all want to sign up for.
He's got to get the decoder ring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only 2 subscriptions away, okay?
All right. anything else y'all would like to do while you're in Little Rock, or any more conversations about the Tatler or anything else?
Let's see. How much are cigarettes?
I don't know. Let's find out. Mm. I don't know. We'll figure it out. They are not expensive, and it's probably you're probably not buying rolled cigarettes. You probably buy tobacco.
Hell yeah. Okay. Grab me a lighter, and that's about it.
Great.
I think it's matches, actually.
Yeah.
You buy a box of 100 matches
Hey, that
for
works for me.
50 cents.
All right. I'll add my matches. So that's that. That's it.
All righty. A representative of the train station approaches you and says, y'all plan on getting that on the tracks? Motioning towards your train car.
Uh, most likely, yeah.
Yes, sir. Would you be kind enough to direct us?
You heading east or west?
West.
West.
All right. Well, we got a train coming in about 20 minutes. It'll probably take them another 15 or 20 to fully unload and passengers aboard. After that, you got about a 3-hour window where you can get that thing on the tracks. I heard about them. I ain't ever seen one here in Little Rock before. When time comes, I can guide you to the spot, but like I said, I ain't never seen one before. One of y'all gonna have to do the deed. Can you handle that?
Yep.
Hey, is there anybody here in town, or there anybody here that you know has experience with these?
Well, let me think about that. As I'm rolling some dice to find out. Yeah, I think old Mr. Boone, he might he was telling stories about these things before. Why do you ask?
Oh, just seeing if you had any skilled engineers, even those that might be looking for a job.
Well, yeah, I don't know if he's looking for a job. I mean, he's employed here, but Bob Boone, he's the one who told me stories about these things, and he hands
Right.
Mr. Boone's address over.
He's local here in town.
Yep.
Cool. I asked the group. I don't know that if we want to follow up on this, it might give us more information. But honestly, I was actually thinking that, I mean, frankly, you're doing a hell of a job here, but what do y'all think about hiring someone that actually knows how to drive one of these?
I think that we got the cash for it, and that takes wrecking it out of our hands.
I mean, do we have the cash for this?
We don't know. We'd have to ask and find out if either they or maybe someone in Dodge City or Denver or a large interchange, maybe someone there might be willing. But just a thought, now that we have some money.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Just because we got some money don't mean we gotta hire somebody. We gotta keep the money. We can't just be spending it all. We gotta keep buying ghost rock for this place.
I agree. I agree. I mean, you think that you could drive this thing all the way to the Dakota?
Hell yeah. Have you seen me?
I have. I believe in you.
There you go. I think we're good then.
I think I'd like to just see Mr. Boone because you rolled for it and he exists now. I feel
Okay,
bad
yeah.
leaving without doing anything.
No problem. Yeah, it easy enough to find. He's excited when you're talking about one of these special train cars that doesn't require tracks, and he's like, "Yeah, I when I worked in Chicago, uh, I saw a handful of these things. Feller, let me drive one around for about 9 months. That was a while back, but I sure would love to see it."
Well, we got it parked down at the rail yard right now.
You don't it even finish the sentence before he's out of his chair and grabbing his hat. So yeah, y'all are
Show 'em
down
the-
there. Well, look at that. He's immediately like on his hands and knees crawling around, looking underneath it. Yeah, that's a hell of a bit of engineering. How long y'all had it?
Not long, a couple days, really.
Uh, is there a reason the whole thing is black as night?
That's
We,
cool.
It
yeah, I
came that
think
way.
it came that way. Yeah, I never really thought about it.
All right, well, I mean, looks like the mechanics are in good shape. I don't know so much about the rest of it. He's looking it over as in the light of day, you can see outside of it's pretty scarred up. Well, where y'all headed?
I mean, we've got a
West.
long journey ahead of us.
Hmm.
You have a whole lot of experience with these kinds of, I suppose. We're looking either for someone who could engineer this cart for us, or at least make sure we knew what we were doing as far as that would go.
Well, I mean, I could certainly give you a quick lesson or two in getting it on and off the tracks, but I mean, piloting something this large through the untamed wilderness, I don't know that I'll be able to give you any instruction on that. I mean, you can learn a little, but most of it you learn through experience.
Hmm. Well, tell you what,
Well
sir.
enough.
Go
Go
on,
ahead,
Joel.
Tom.
No, please, I insist.
Well, if you can sure show us how to get this thing up on the tracks, we'd be mighty obliged.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Why don't those of you that are interested in learning hop into this front cabin here and we'll start pulling some levers, dialing some knobs. We'll have this thing on the tracks in no time. He talks with the current station manager, informs them that he's actually going to take, in his mind, he's going to take the full 2 hours or a full 2 hours as soon as the last train leaves the station. It'd take him about 20 minutes, a half hour to get it on there and everything, but he wants to hang out with you guys, give those of you that want to give it a shot an attempt to practice it, getting it on, getting it off. Those of you that are interested in learning this, why don't you make me a common knowledge roll to see if you pick this up?
Dang it. Wait a
Do I get
minute.
do I get
I'm a-
anything?
I'm a Benny that.
Same.
Do I get anything? Because I was driving good, or like a little already.
You do not.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
Benny it again.
Holy
Okay.
shit! I
used to
bennied it
Benny and
into
I
a.
got a critical failure.
Yeah,
I bennied it into a 10.
we do have some problems here.
I can't roll. I'm hitting the roll button, but nothing is happening. Let me check.
Well, now a
Whoa.
whole bunch just happened.
Yeah, there it all goes.
Oh, and I deleted the thing because I was gonna reroll. I still don't see any of it.
Well, I just saw a ton of dice go.
Let me refresh my game.
Okay. So there's good news and there's bad news. At a minimum, well, we will see what Abigail picks up and what she doesn't. But
You might as well roll for me because I'm not.
okay.
Okay, no wait. Downloading world data. It popped.
Okay. But we will find out that everyone else, with the exception of Joan, has picked up enough to at least get this thing on and off the tracks relatively pain-free. Abigail included. While everyone is practicing and taking turns, Joan runs into some problems, and they are problems significant enough that there has been some damage to the train. Joan, roll me a D100 to see how much money it's going to cost to fix this problem.
Ooh.
Big
That's a lot of
roll.
money.
Big roller.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a lot of money, but
That's almost the max amount of money it can be.
almost.
Um, as you are going to engage the hydraulics to lift the car high enough so that its terrain wheels are off the ground and can be folded up underneath it so that it can then be rotated and shifted onto the train tracks. You don't disengage the hydraulics quickly enough and you overextend it. And so now the car is just like 3 feet up in the air. And it will take $95 and a full 24 hours of mechanics work to resolve this issue.
Well, I have shelled out the cash, and I'm gonna go find somewhere to sit until y'all get this wrangled.
Bob's like, yeah, no problem. Like I know the people that we should get to try and resolve this. Please, y'all don't take this the wrong way. Y'all sure you know what you're doing?
Absolutely.
Nope.
I was just driving this motherfucker all right now.
Like, it's all right. This is what we're doing, what we're taking this time for, to learn.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Why don't y'all head into town? I'd recommend finding a nice place to stay. This probably won't be ready till, I don't know, sometime noon, maybe later tomorrow.
Good call.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Hey, fuck it.
Do we do with the cat?
I was figuring to leave it on the train.
Can find something. This damn cat was living before us.
Yeah, they're
I
probably
don't know if we wanted to bring the cat or something since they're going to be working on the train. But if we think it'll be fine to leave it, then
probably
I'm all for it.
good hunting here.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, Thomas. I mean, I think Bob's a smart cat, and I think they'll probably get out, do a little hunting, and know where to come back to.
Mm-hmm.
This seems as good a point as any to just state above table. So long as Bob the cat remains in sort of mascot territory, Bob will be invincible. I'm not going to kill this cat. Right? You can, as long as he's just a mascot, you can drive this train off of you can drive it into the Grand Canyon, right? And it'll kill all 6 of you, and Bob the cat will come out just fine, right? As soon as you try and take advantage of that to engage Bob the cat in some mission, he will suddenly become just a normal cat, susceptible to all the dangers in the world.
We strap the dynamite to Bob the Invincible Cat.
Exactly what I want to make sure is clear is not going to work. Right.
Adam won't kill Bob the Cat. He doesn't have the guts.
Right. So,
You won't pull the
Um,
trigger.
Hey, Doc, seeing as we got some time, I actually could use your help.
Let me grab my tool bag. That is the kind of help you're asking for, right?
Yeah, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. You know, before when I was having power problems, I started losing vision in my eyes, and well, I forget. I think one of them's a battery indicator. Uh, the other, I don't know. My right eye, I keep losing vision in it, but I thought that'd be over when you done what you did.
Does Abigail have any idea what a blinking right eye means? Because I know left eye is power.
right. You don't. However, the reason you don't is you immediately flash back to a design meeting where, in this meeting, you were ranting and raving, might be a little strong, but you were very animated in the fact that this notion that other designers had to use blinking eyes and losing eyesight as a gauge for anything was fucking stupid, right? And that if Thomas needed a fuel gauge, why not just give him a fuel gauge, right? While you lost that argument overall, you were able to convince them that setting up any condition whereby Thomas might lose vision in both eyes at the same time, no matter how briefly, was a disastrous design decision, and they all
Yeah.
agreed with that. So they agreed that he would be able to maintain the left eye would blink when he's running out of fuel, and the right eye would remain clear of any of those involuntary interruptions.
Got it. So this shouldn't be happening, Thomas. We'll take a look immediately. Find somewhere to go settle in for the night, and I will take a look.
Yeah, you're able to find I assume you're finding a hotel room or something.
Yeah, I assume since we all have to stay
Yeah.
for 24 hours, that's probably the first thing all of us want to do.
Mm-hmm. You all staying at the same spot, or you? I can never find where these services, what the costs are for these services. I know there's 3 different levels.
Page 28. Boarding house with meals. Low class is $1. Low class hotel is $2. High class hotel $10 per day.
Excellent. Where are you headed to conduct this?
What do you think, team?
You go somewhere nice since we're in a nice town.
We just spent days in vampires and zombies. I think treating ourselves is only fair.
I am glad I don't have to be the one to advocate for this. We all seem to be in agreement.
Excellent.
How much was that?
$10.
$10.
Oh, no problem.
I got about 10.
Yeah, you're able to secure 6 rooms at the Silver Buckle. The proprietor is very pleased to have 6 additional rooms rented out, and offers a round of drinks on the house to welcome you to the Silver Buckle.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Abigail will uncharacteristically decline only because I'm
Mhm.
about to go take an eye apart. Although I
Yep.
will leave that part out of my decline.
Excellent. What's everybody else doing while Thomas and Abigail go up to one of these rooms? Are you just kicking it in the tavern area, enjoying your free cocktails?
Maybe going to play cards somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, there is no gambling in, or no, I should say, no fixed gambling in this establishment. There's a couple people playing just a friendly game of cards. You can try and introduce yourself into that game, or you can go out and look for a gambling hall proper.
Yeah, I'm just looking for light fun. I'll try to be friendly with the locals.
Yeah, just make me a persuasion roll.
Yeah. I'm bad at that.
No.
Bad.
Wow. Wow.
Can I join in on this?
You want to make
want
a
to.
persuasion roll as well? Go for it.
I want to go. I want to gamble. I want to go play some cards.
Yeah, between the two of those, they reluctantly allow you two to join, and we will revisit that after we resolve what's going on with Abigail and with Thomas. Yeah, once up in the room, Abigail, you go through the familiar motions of loosening some screws on a ring that holds the two halves of Thomas's metal skull together. The top sort of folds back. You can remove this ring. The front faceplate folds down as the top of the head sort of flips back, and the back of the head folds back a little bit from a hinge that would be sort of in the neck area. It exposes, all of the equipment, including the mechanical sensors that operate as eyes, as well as the glass jar that contains the living brain, and electrodes running from it, wires running from it to the eyes, to the voice box, down through the chest area where there's a bellows that helps to create the necessary airflow for that voice, as well as what you now know to be the fuel cell. Make me a weird science roll.
Nine.
Yeah,
Huge.
looking at this right eye, looking at the two eyes, it's immediately apparent that something has gone sideways in the right eye. There's like 3 additional wires running to it, and you trace them back, and initially it looks like these 3 wires have wrapped themselves around the initial sort of optical cable that you would expect running to the glass jar that contains the brain. But upon further inspection, you realize that, in fact, these additional wires, while wrapped around the initial optical cable, are actually just using that for purchase, and they actually originate in a bit of electronics that is engaged or that is installed in the throat that you recognize as the improved voice box
Voice
that
box.
was sent to you and installed.
Huh. Well, it has something to do with your new voice box. I'm not sure why that's interfering with your optics, unless there is. Do you see something? I mean, you said your vision goes out, but I mean, is there something else that you're seeing?
Adam, am I correct in my remembrance that I just lose the vision?
I think as you guys are talking about it, the only thing that might spark something from you, Abigail, is that this is happening while it happened while you were in the commercial district of Little Rock. And actually Thomas, make me a common knowledge roll.
Ooh. Ooh, pretty good. I'm a knower.
Oh yeah.
A known knower.
As the two of you are talking this through, Thomas, you recall this is not the first time it happened, right? You wrote it off the first couple times because you were having problems with vision in your left eye. And you just thought, oh, like I'm having vision problems, right? And didn't distinguish between the two eyes. But now that you're talking it through, you remember you actually had this problem when you were in the commercial district in Denver, right?
Mm-hmm.
You also had this problem when you were in the Hellstrom facility.
Yeah, it has been happening. I suppose more than I thought. I wouldn't have bothered, but seeing as everything, we'd been through, I didn't want to have to, you know, put put you all at risk again for me. That's weird. I ain't seeing nothing different. I'm just losing the vision. Why do you think it's happening in only certain places?
I don't know. There must be something interfering with this.
I mean, I'd say the name of the lady who made it, who Thomas definitely knows, but I do not.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
I mean, she knew her stuff. I don't think she'd send us a faulty piece of business.
Oh, I agree. I don't think it's faulty. That's why I thought maybe you were seeing something, like a message or an advisor or something along those lines. Like perhaps this device is trying to feed us information, and we're just simply not aware of what it's trying to tell us.
Well, why don't we go back to where it was acting up and you take a look there?
We can try, but that would mean taking your face apart in the middle of the street.
Maybe we can find some place discreet like.
I mean, or we could go there. I could put your face back together, and we could go there and look around when it. Well, I mean, I'll be able to look around when it happens. I don't mean that. That's not
Yeah.
meant to be a joke, but then we would at least know that we were in the right area. Perhaps we can recruit some of the others.
Sure. We'll have them keep an eye out.
Motherfucker.
Did we sleep on the train before we got here? Did we drive through the day and then
No, you slept and left in the morning
okay,
and
that's
got
what I
here.
thought.
So you've had a night of sleep because you found Bob, if that is in
Yeah.
fact what you are calling him, first thing in the morning as you all got up.
I think we're definitely calling him Bob the cat.
Okay. Nice. All right. Yeah, I think it hasn't been much time before Abigail and Thomas descend the stairs. We'll say in that amount of time, you probably get to play like Cornelius and Franklin. You probably get to play 5 hands at about $1 a piece. Why don't you each make me gambling rolls to see how you do? Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
You're
Okay.
gonna lose your guns again.
Right.
I, thought, I didn't even think we was betting.
Didn't think we were betting.
Okay. Yeah, Cornelius, you make what is the thing? You make $6 in this time. Lose the first hand, which gives the people you're sitting with not intentionally, you're not hustling these people, but you do lose the first hand, gives them a false sense of confidence. And then you clean up on the next 4. Franklin, you proceed to lose $5 and your shoes.
No, he's not taking my shoes. That's a funny bit. He's not taking my shoes. Oh,
I'm sorry, I said I like them shoes, and you said, well, if I front you the cash for this last hand, you'll put them up. I did. You lost. They ain't your shoes no more.
did I not just say what I? You not taking my shoes?
So you're not going to honor your gambling debt.
You can get some money. You ain't taking my damn shoes.
Make me an intimidation roll.
Oh my god.
Are you? Is he wearing the mask?
Nah, this is just a +2.
Dude scrapes up his $5 off the table. Mumbles something about used to be you could trust a feller in this town who said he just wants to play a friendly game of cards. And he and his friends get up and leave. You're short $5, but you get to keep your shoes, Franklin.
Oh shit, that was fun. You want to keep going? You call. I think I might call.
I mean, you did frighten off the other folks playing, so I think I'll likewise call it a night.
It's about at this time that Abigail and Thomas come down the stairs and rejoin everybody.
The boy said never asked for my damn shoes. I don't know what he thought was gonna.
Why'd you bet your shoes if you got money?
He just wanted to bet on my shoes. I ain't think the damn bastard actually. I got all this money. He asked for shoes.
Right. Anyway, well, we need to go back into the commercial area. We need to have a look around there and see what it is that is causing Thomas's right eye to run into a few problems.
Okay.
Y'all want to come with and help look around, or
I ain't got nothing else to do.
If it'll help.
Have you seen Joan or Frendel? We can grab them for the trip as well.
Yeah, I'll come along.
Frendel's definitely in his room.
yeah, we ask if you wanna come.
Yeah, I'll join. Yeah, Frendel needed to do. Frendel has been having a run of bad luck that makes him think he's not worshipping properly. Maybe.
Okay.
Spending
What
enough
does
time.
it look like when Frendel is trying to rectify that particular problem?
I think for Frendel, the hardest thing to do, the thing that requires the most willpower, is just being still and silent. So it is just sitting like cross-legged, with his hands like clasped together. They're not clasped like in prayer, they're clasped like kind of palm in palm a little bit. And he is just eyes closed, doing nothing but being absolutely still and focusing.
Excellent. Well, after you've got probably an hour-ish, maybe a little more of that under your belt before Thomas comes and invites you to join the rest of the crew on a little stroll. It is twilight. The sun hasn't completely set, but the sky is starting to go pink. A little more than starting. It's starting to get dark and pink around the horizon. As you take your stroll through the commercial district. As you do, Thomas, it's not long before your right eye blinks again. And if everyone could make me a notice roll, Thomas, yours is going to be at -2.
My hashtag noticer.
Yeah, I never
Oh,
noticed.
come on.
A
I
no
don't,
noticer.
I don't
Oh.
notice stuff.
Told you guys I noticed.
I'm gonna use my goof Benny for a reroll.
Mhm.
Ooh, it's not good. I'm gonna use my last Benny for a reroll. It's wait.
Wait.
A noticer.
Okay.
Another critical failure from Joan.
Yeah,
Oh,
amazing.
no.
Yeah, my
No.
dice really had my back last session, but now they're
So,
like, okay, this is the deal.
I think we'll
John also
adjudicate it
starts going
this
blind.
way. As you're walking, Thomas, you call out that my right eye just blinked again, so that everyone's aware that whatever is going on has just happened. Friendly, you're probably lost a little bit in your own world. You've
Yeah.
agreed to come to help your friends out, but you're still concerned about your run of luck and about
Uh-huh.
your practice of your faith. Joan, it's literally at this moment that you step in a cow pie and are like, oh God, and are busy scraping manure off of your boot. Thomas, Abigail, Cornelius, you all notice this, right? But you get it a beat behind Franklin. Franklin, your skill as a gunfighter actually comes in handy here, where you notice a quick movement out of the corner of your eye. You whip around to see where it's coming from, and you just after Thomas has said, "Hey, it just happened again." You see a light blink on and off. That light is coming from a small tower on top of a nearby building. As you scan down the building, you see, as does Abigail and Thomas and Cornelius, the name on the building with that tower that blinked in response to Thomas blinking says Hellstrom Industries Showroom.
Ain't them the people that's looking for y'all?
Yeah. I don't know
How,
what that means, but I don't think it means anything good.
how we gonna deal with this?
Abigail, I think at this point you've got
Mhm.
enough information, and with the rolls that you've made, right, you can put together. You were on the right track in the room that this device is some method of sharing information. You just
Mhm.
had the direction wrong, right? It's not sharing information with Thomas. It's not sending information to him. It's sending information about him and his location. And it appears that since he's had this installed, whenever he's been within proximity of a Hellstrom facility, it's registered when and where that was.
Oh dear. Well, the good news is I think we've pieced together what's going on. The bad news is I can't do anything about it here, and I don't know that it's necessarily something we want to leave active. I do wonder if I can try to I'll need to find a place um, to work on Thomas. I wonder if I might be able to intercept what sort of information is being sent out to whoever is hijacking this, or presumably to Charlotte.
But why would she? I thought she. Dang.
I mean, it's possible that she's just keeping tabs on you, making sure you stay okay, but I don't know yet, Thomas. Regardless, she should never have done that without asking your permission. This is a gross invasion of your privacy. And it means that, well, let's see if we can find out what it's sending.
Okay. Well, how do you plan on going about that?
We're going to need a store with a changing room.
Like a tailor?
Ooh, or a private restroom. Restaurant. That was a Ted slip. That was not an Abigail slip.
Uh, okay, well, it'd have to be nearby, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Spread out. See if we can find somewhere.
You're just looking. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by a private restaurant.
A restaurant with a private room.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you're able to. Yeah, you're able to find a restaurant. It's not. It's not exactly a private room, but it is a booth that has privacy curtains that you can close.
Don't know. Yeah. I'd settle in,
Mhm.
wait for drinks to arrive, and then take apart Thomas's face again.
Great. What's the plan once you have his face taken apart?
My hope is that I will be able to see what exactly is the mechanism that is causing the loss of eyesight,
Mhm.
and then being able to figure out what is sending, like what information is
Yeah,
being sent.
I mean, this is based on the rolls that you've already made. This is relatively simple. The only real complication, right, in the device is that this initial tracking component of it was hidden when you installed it and didn't um, worm its way into Thomas's system until after it was installed. But the way it functions is you can determine is actually at least from Thomas's end, it's pretty simple, right? All it does is send out a particular that blink sends out a light of a very specific frequency, right? And all that does is inform all of the information is actually gathered or not even gathered, it's generated from whatever tower is receiving it, where it's probably just saying that, oh, on such and such a day at such and such a time, we had
He's
contact.
pinging.
Right. And I mean, the other thing you don't know, right, is you don't know how many things, right, these towers are designed to track, right? You haven't heard of them, you're not familiar with them, right? You weren't familiar with them until this moment with regards to Thomas, but it seems reasonable to surmise, right, that if they are capable of tracking Thomas and interested, at least have, created the technology to track Thomas, stands to reason they might be tracking other things, and that would be simple enough to do with just a different frequency of light.
Okay, so they
You want me
know
to
where
try to disable it?
I mean, maybe. Normally I'd say yes, but you know, maybe this is the reason why they ain't come looking. You know, we've been making quite a fuss of ourselves the last while. I honestly expected them to come after us much sooner, seeing as we already crossed paths with one of their bounty hunters or whatever. But they haven't been. Maybe this is doing them whatever it is they want for now. If losing my eyesight every now and then keeps them off our, keeps them out of our business, so to speak, then I don't think that's such a cost to bear, you know?
I suppose. So you think Charlotte was working for who? Hellstrom?
I know she had connections to him. I just thought that I thought
Uh,
that we had an understanding, but
Why don't you two make me a common knowledge rolls? Yeah, you recall at this point, Abigail, it's a little foggy, but thinking back to what Charlotte wanted and how interested she was in Thomas and his inner workings, and how she came to have this interest and be involved in any of this. Um, you recall a conversation that she had said that she and Jack were in the employ of your benefactor, just like you
Mhm.
guys were, right? But his real interest was in Jack's work, and she was there as sort of an ancillary piece to that. Um, and that she didn't know if, now that Jack was gone, if her employment would be continued. And the only other people that had ever expressed interest in her particular scientific specialty were the people at Hellstrom.
Well, I mean, it's ultimately your decision, Thomas. It's. I think it would affect your voice box, so
I think it was probably foolish of us to think they didn't know, right? Or wouldn't know. Eventually, we'd have to reckon with that, but let them know if I'm around. If they have questions, then they'll know where to find me. Maybe one day I'll have questions and I know where to find them too.
if you say so, I'm less concerned about questions and more concerned about kidnapping myself, but
I think if they was gonna do it, they would have done it. I'd rather keep my voice. It's a small price.
I will close Thomas's face back up. And
Excellent. You close his face back
finish
up.
off whatever my meal is.
Yeah, there's a table full of food, decent, good quality food. Um, y'all are able to finish up, head back to the Silver Buckle Inn. Anything anybody wants to discuss or get up to before you call it a night?
At some point, Abigail will knock on Frendel's door.
Yeah, it takes a long moment. Frendel stayed. You can like almost faintly hear knees popping in the silence of the room. Yeah,
It's me, Frendel. I just wanted
Oh.
to ask you a few things.
sure, yeah. Opens it up. You want to come in, or you want me to go to yours?
No, I'm here. We might as well
Okay.
get in there. That thing that has come for me several times now. I thought at first that it was Jonathan's family sending it, but not that I think it's necessarily the most reliable piece of source of information, rather. But the dealer did seem to think that perhaps it was something from your past, and I know you remember most of your heists. I remember some of the stories. That was before I left, before you joined up with the Hellhounds or whoever you were with in the interim. But I just want to know what happened. Who did you? Someone has sent that thing to me, and it doesn't seem to be. Has sent that thing for me, rather, and it doesn't seem to be Jonathan's family like I thought. So
I've thought a little about it, and I didn't make anybody that angry with me. And I mean that seriously. I think of the things that I did, and to get that kind of animosity would require way more cleverness than I have or even had at that time. Calling anything I did heists is too much. Call me a confidence man is probably too much either, because that implies some kind of ongoing thing, and I didn't have a head for that sort of thing too much. By the time I was with the Hellhounds, I mean, I'd kind of just run out of places to move to avoid inconvenient conversations. You know, they were basically going to use me as a patsy, right? That's what they were paying me for. I was the face to be seen so they could get me arrested instead of one of them. They didn't know I found their safe house, though.
the Hellhounds? Why on earth would you?
Money, mainly. Everything was about money. If you don't have it, then you really want it, even when you don't. I don't know. When you have it, then you want to spend it on things more, you know? And then you don't have any anymore.
I do understand. Jonathan took very little time bankrupting both our families, so
I guess that's. In some ways, it's freeing to hear that what I always thought of as my fallback back then doesn't exist anymore. But when it comes to somebody who'd hate me that much that those who knew anything about me would have no reason to tie me back to you. It's a name's a name, but I didn't swim in any circles high enough to like leave that much of a trail. Also, generally, I didn't use my real name a lot of the time. Because, like, I'm stupid, but I'm not that fucking stupid.
that's stupid. All right, well, I expect we'll be seeing that thing again, and I'm just trying to understand who could have possibly sent it. And
Assuming we
unfortunately,
believe him and that the point of it is to
Yeah.
hurt me, then it's somebody in present tense, not past, in my opinion.
I don't know whether I believe the dealer. I don't think he has any real. I don't think it has any real reason to lie to us. And I think, honestly, if that is the truth, that perhaps it was simply trying to stir up more trouble with the truth.
A piece of me that I don't want to voice to the group just yet is worried that this somehow related to the other people like me.
Could certainly be, though I don't know why they'd have any reason to know who I am.
I don't
We
know.
didn't
It's
get that glove until long after you had left Boston
yeah,
for the
but
last time.
it's magic or something. If they're trying to break me, the goal is to break me, and that's putting you in the box. It bothers because I believe that I worship, I follow a thing that's right, and I do right by it, and I do right with it. Um, and I'm not sure what it means if there are people who can do wrong with it, because anything that would give those people the ability to do that is more like the dealer than anything I want to follow.
Well, I wouldn't give it too much concern. After all, even medicine, like I've learned, even just a regular no magical glove church can be used by the wrong people. That doesn't mean anything for you. It's only a reflection on them.
I suppose. I mean, I guess it could be somebody from the past. I just don't know who'd hate me that much. Or if they did hate me that much, why wouldn't they want me to know? Why wouldn't the box ghost say every single time this is because of you and point at me?
I imagine the thing from the hunting grounds only does exactly what it is here to do, but all of that is pointless speculation, I think, at this point. We know that it will almost certainly be back. And the only ones I can think of who would send it for me from my side are the Brewsters and Hellstrom, and it doesn't seem to be either of those. So we'll find out. We'll figure it out. I just didn't know if there was maybe something that you were mulling around in that mind of yours.
About my past, no. At this point, if I had anything, I'd just say it, but I don't know if that's just because I can't remember it, but I remember most of it. I just don't know if I know. Before you go, can I I'll ask a question more directly, if that's okay.
Mhm.
What is the metal thing you have under your clothing?
How do you know about that?
We've hugged at least once.
Yes, I've taken. It is what allows me to use my abilities on myself. It is a system designed to deliver my concoctions directly into myself.
Is it safe?
I've had it for some time now. It's as safe as I could make it.
Yeah, friendly nods. The like serious expression sort of flickers for a second as he smiles. Says, "I mean, that's all the serious talk I had. You got any other questions for me?"
Bill thinks a second. No, nothing I can think of for now. That's the main thing. We have this hunt for Avery Sutton. Avery Sutton? Yes, Avery Sutton.
Yeah.
It seems to be tied to these strings, and the boxes that we've found are all the ones made by the boxer, the place we're headed, and that seems to be tied with Nick, and a lot of threads, no pun intended, seem to be all coming together.
Are you bothered by the happenstance of it all?
Just wondering how anyone else sees this ending. Even if we need to stop Avery Sutton. I think we all agree on that. Before something even worse from the hunting grounds is released. I doubt Sutton will believe us or listen to us about Alberta's post-death confession. I don't know. Well,
If you want my real advice on the topic, don't. I don't think it helps to give too much thought to the end of things. Better just thinking about the next thing, and the next thing becomes the next thing after that. It's the one thing that I guess I carried over from my previous life. Next thing always comes up. So all you really got to worry about is what you're doing right now and maybe the next thing, but next thing after that will sort itself.
I suppose that's how I dealt with everything that led to leaving Boston, just one thing at a time, but
Eventually we'll be done with this adventure in life. We'll go around, we'll find some town to settle down in. You take up the doctor's office, I take up the church across the street. It's a whole thing where we'll bicker in the town square like once a day about science versus religion, and we get old. I probably go first.
I'm just gonna stop you because settling down No, no.
I mean, we could still
I
let
did
you go
that.
on sabbaticals. We'll get you an assistant.
No, you got to have all the adventures when we were young. I'm not settling down now.
I mean,
Besides, we have our own train now.
yeah, I mean that's true, but if you don't settle down, I'm probably not gonna. So I guess we're just not.
That sounds like a you problem.
Oh, we need to make this train look like one of those medicine carts that go around, except real and not just water mixed with sugar.
I think those are just wagons, Frendel. They just
Yeah, but sometimes they put special panels on them so they can slide around.
we could make it look like a hospital, I guess. Anyway,
Oh, last thing is, now that we got like more time on the road and some travel and stuff, would you mind reading to me a bit more occasionally? It could be like your medical textbooks or anything. Just
we can pick up some books. I don't have anything on me really, but we can pick up some books in town tomorrow.
yeah. I mean, I'm not picky. Just you know, whatever sounds like it'd be fun to read. Before you can like stop him, he like leads forward to give you a hug.
Yeah.
All right.
Frendel.
I'm gonna go back to sitting in silence and stillness and humming gently. You have a night that's more exciting than that.
Oh, I intend to. It's a good thing that you are literally as far from my room as possible. Good night.
Good night. Halfway through good night when the door closes.
Spectacular. Anyone else before we call it a night? In that case, everyone gets a fine night's sleep. Wakes up as you all wake in the morning and gather your things and leave. You find the proprietor of the Silver Buckle isn't quite as friendly as he was when you checked in and seems pleased to see you all leaving. As you do and head to the train station, you see Bob Boone is there. His crew just about finished up with work. He greets y'all and says, "Well, it took a little less time than I thought, but we worked through the night. We've got you just about ready, and there's a big window before the next train comes in." And he um, hands you all a bus schedule and says, "As long as you stay in between these scheduled trains, uh, y'all should be all right. Um, next major stop is Dodge City, but there's plenty of stops in between there if you find you need something. Why don't you let me help y'all out and get this fancy rail runner up on the tracks for you?"
Thank you.
He gets your train all prepped and ready to go and on the tracks. Um, as you prepare to head off and bid adieu to Little Rock, um, although you don't see him, You do hear a faint meow coming from some stacked items towards the back of the train, indicating to you that Bob is still here with you. And unless there's anything you would like to do, um, before
Abigail
departing.
Abigail is checking this train over, just looking for anything that should not be there. We trusted our train with a person we don't know, and I want to make sure that since we trusted a person we did know, and now there's a tracking device in Thomas.
Make me a notice roll. Yeah, I would say, in addition to being supremely confident that there is nothing that has been installed that shouldn't be there, you actually feel pretty good and also a little surprised at the quality of the work. And that's not to say anything about Bob specifically or Little Rock more generally, but just pretty good luck when you know the one person you went to fix this thing, wow, did really quality work at getting this thing back together. It clearly picked up a shit ton about rail runners in those 9 months.
All right, Joan, take us out.
The good news is no
What?
driving checks as you're on the rails now. It's literally just the
I'm still
throttle.
not risking it.
I will say the one thing that you see as the train starts to build up a little bit of speed as you pull out of the station is on a table, or actually not a table, on a crate that sort of serves as a table. In the middle of this train is the photograph of the 6 of you standing in front of this train car that had been commissioned by Thomas a day earlier. And with
Cute.
that, you pull out, headed towards Dodge City. And I think that is where we will call it for the evening.